Welcome, noble listeners of House Atreides, to another poignant episode of Through Their Eyes. Today, we bring you the story of Sergeant Creel, a decorated member of the 2nd Deep Desert Expeditionary Force who has faced the horrors of war firsthand. As we delve into his experiences, we honor the bravery and sacrifices of our troops.
Sergeant Creel, thank you for joining us today. Can you start by telling us about your involvement in the operation at Dune?
Of course. We're operational in the deep desert, so when scouting came back with reports of a Hark emplacement at Dune, well, that was a serious provocation.
What happened at Dune?
Like I said, we own the deep desert, so when word got back to us of a Harkonnen bastion being raised, our commanders knew what to do. 7 different cohorts, including the 5th Mesa Infantry and Gurney Zone, were simultaneously deployed in a coordinated attack. The whole operation was brutal. The Hark defenders much more vicious than we were used to.
And yet, you and your fellow soldiers managed to execute the mission with surgical precision. Can you share a specific moment from that operation that stands out in your memory?
Well, there was this one moment, I guess. The Hark bastion was still only half built, and we'd taken out a group of engineers, but we were spotted by a fortified lasgun position from the finished part of the bastion and pinned down. They were really tearing us apart. But somehow, we managed to get behind them through the half-built works. I remember crawling through the blood-stained sand and rubble. The smell of death and fried ozone thick on the air. When we finally took out that position, at least, it felt like a small victory in this ceaseless ocean of despair.
Your bravery is truly inspiring. As the operation continued, what kept you and your fellow soldiers going?
Duty, honor, the things they drill into you from day one. The example set by the fearless men of Gurney Zone. But honestly, in the end, it's all about the man next to you. It's him you fight for, to keep him alive. It wasn't about grand ideals anymore. It was about survival.
House Atreides prides itself on its moral high ground and honorable conduct. How did the principles of Canley and the Great Convention hold up under the extreme conditions of battle?
Canley? That's for fancy folks with sashes and pressed uniforms. For us, the reality of war, it changes people. These missions, you do things that you never thought you would. I remember one night, after we took out a Hark listening station, seeing my comrades picking through the carnage off of Harkonnen survivors. They seemed different somehow. As if the brutality of the war had drained all humanity out of them. I even remember...
Sergeant Creel, it's clear that the emotional toll is heavy. Perhaps we can focus more on the moments of camaraderie and hope that you experienced during these dark times.
The what? Well, yeah, I mean, there are moments, sure, but... like between missions, people share stories, laugh about the little things. Anything to keep the darkness at bay. But those moments are fleeting. The reality of what we have to do is always there, lurking in the background.
And during the shield wall operation, what was the state of your unit at that point?
It was pretty chaotic. At that point, we were exhausted, just barely holding on. More than half the unit was replacements by then. Young, inexperienced kids, really. Just hanging on by the skin of their teeth. And the Harkonnens had good intel. They somehow knew about most of our operations beforehand. I lost more friends in those days than I can count. I mean, we were just trying to stay alive, you know? Mission by mission, but... really, what was the point of it all?
Sergeant Creel, I'm sure at least you find some solace in knowing that your courage and sacrifice will never be forgotten. Can you share with us the impact your involvement in these operations has had on you personally?
I mostly just remember the faces, the screams, the loss. I mean, I try to recall the good we did, the successes and the victories, but It's hard. So damn hard.
Your service and dedication to House Atreides are deeply appreciated. We thank you for sharing your story with us.
Yeah, thank you. I just hope it was worth it.
And that concludes our interview with Sergeant Creel. His story is a stark reminder of the sacrifices made by our brave special forces. Let us honor their sacrifices and strive for a future where this can finally end and the Harkonnens are eradicated from all of Arrakis.
You have listened to another episode of Through Their Eyes, first-hand accounts from the front lines, presented by your host, Redondo Monroe.